Hello, welcome you once again. So today we will discuss the simplified equivalent circuit of a loaded transformer. Now this is the simplified equivalent circuit of a loaded transformer. Okay, so this one is your primary side having turn N1, this one is your primary side, this one is your secondary side. So on the primary side the resistance is R1, reactance is X1. Okay, and the primary side is connected is supplied from a AC source or a sinusoidal source having voltage of V1. Okay, and as usual E1 is the induced EMF on primary side. Okay, so now this parallel branch of R0 and X0, this represent the no load equivalent circuit. Okay, this parallel branch R0 X0, this represent the no load equivalent circuit. Okay, R0, this R0 represent the core loss. This is the physical element which represent the core losses. Okay, so this core losses means here eddy current as well as hysteresis loss. Okay, and reactance X0. This reactance X0 is the inductive reactance which represent the loss free coil, which represent the reactance of a loss free coil which actually passes the magnetizing current Im. Okay, so as I told you last class, this no load current composed of Iw and Im. Iw is the loss component of current, loss component of I0, which is responsible for core losses, and Im is the component of I0. This one is the total current I0. Im is the component of I0 which actually produce the magnetizing effect or which will produce the flux. So when this current Im flow through the winding, this will produce as a flux. So this current is responsible for the magnetization of core, hence this current known as your Im, magnetizing current Im. Okay, so now look back to the secondary side here. This is your R2, that means the resistance of the secondary side, and X2 is the reactance of secondary side, and this one is your induced EMF E2, and a load having impedance of ZL. You see the load is connected here. The load of impedance ZL is connected across this point, and V2 is the load voltage. Okay, so these are the parameter how connected. You just see here. Okay, understood the fact? Okay, so now this transformer actually composed of these two electric circuit and one magnetic circuit. Okay, so for the analysis, why this is called simplified equivalent circuit? Okay, so for smooth analysis and easy analysis, the secondary parameter either shifted to primary or the primary side is shifted to secondary, so that there will be one electric circuit, so that the analysis will be easier. Okay, that's why I have written here two electric circuit. So this simplified equivalent circuit means we will make a simplified equivalent circuit. That means a single circuit that represent the parameter of both the side, that is primary as well as secondary. So this is our main objective. Okay, so now just assume this equivalent circuit is referred to primary side. Now the equivalent circuit, that means the parameter from secondary side is reflected to the primary side. The parameter of secondary side is reflected to primary side. So as I told you, when the secondary parameter is shifted to primary side, that means this R2 and X2. Okay, so this will be divided by this will be divided by the square of K square, the transformation ratio K square. So when R2 will be shifted to primary side, this became R2 dash. So this will be equal to R2 dash. When R2 is shifted to primary, this became R2 dash. So this is the usual notation. Okay, so R2 is being dash, that means that side shifted to primary side. So that will be equal to resistance of R2 divided by K square. And similarly reactance of secondary X2 when shifted to primary side X2 dash, this became X2 by K square. This is the fact. Okay, and one more thing, when the secondary current, this current is your I2, this current is your I2. Okay, so all the parameter, current, voltage, resistance, reactance, all these things will shifted to primary side. So when I2 secondary current is shifted to primary side, so just K is multiplied. So if this current I2 when this will shifted to primary side, this became this like this r2 dash, this will be i2 dash, i2 dash, this will be equal to k times of i2, this will be equal to k times of i2. Okay, so now just assume that the equivalent circuit that is referred to the primary side. Okay, so the primary having resistance r1 and x1, okay, r1 and x1, and having the parallel branch of resistance r0 and x0. Okay, now the secondary resistance is shifted to primary side, this became r2 dash, and the secondary reactance that is shifted to primary, this became x2 dash. Okay, similarly the ZL, load impedance ZL, that is shifted to primary side, this became ZL dash, ZL dash, and V2 load voltage became V2 dash. Okay, so in this circuit there is two resistance, one is the resistance of primary itself and the resistance which is shifted from secondary side to primary side. Similarly there is two reactance also, the reactance of primary side x1 as well as the reactance that is shifted from secondary to primary side. Okay, so now the total resistance here became r01, total resistance r01. So this is equal to r1 plus r2 dash, own resistance r1 and secondary resistance shifted to primary. Similarly x01, x01 that is equal to x1 plus x2 dash. Okay, so as I told you earlier, when this resistance, secondary resistance shifted to primary, this be the square of k square, that means k square is divided. So I have written here r2 dash became r2 by k square and x2 dash became x2 by k square. ZL dash became, that means impedance and resistance when shifted from secondary to primary, k square will be divided. Similarly, this is the load impedance, so load impedance ZL divided by k square, and the secondary current I2 when shifted to primary, k is multiplied, so this became KI2. So understood the fact here, this R01 became R1 plus R2 dash, and X01 is equal to X1 plus X2 dash, and these are the parameters, secondary parameters shifted to primary, R2 dash, X2 dash, ZL dash, I2 dash. Okay, understood the fact. So R01 is equal to R1 plus R2 dash, X01 became X1 plus X2 dash. Okay, so these two resistance from the previous one, these two resistance R1 and R2 dash is formed to a single resistance. Similarly X1 and X2 dash, these two reactants form to a single reactance. So this single resistance is your R01 and single reactance is your X01. Okay, so this is the diagram, and the parameter we mentioned V1, here V2 dash, ZL. Okay, so in this circuit, what is the current equation? See, this is the primary current I1, so this is equal to the sum of no load current I0. This I0 is your no load current, then I2 dash is your secondary current shifted to primary. So on primary side this became its own no load current I0 and the secondary current shifted to primary. So I1 is equal to the sum of I0 plus I2 dash, I0 plus I2 dash, the vector sum of I0 and I2 dash, that will yield or produce I1. Okay, similarly this is the voltage equation. Look at the circuit here. At this point the induced EMF is your E1. So voltage between these two terminal is equal to the voltage drop across this element and this voltage. Okay, so you can get by applying the KVL also, this voltage is equal to the voltage drop across this element and this, that means this and this, the sum of this voltage and this voltage is equal to this voltage. Okay, so E1, this voltage is your E1 is equal to the current is your I2 dash and the impedance is your as RL series, so the impedance can be written as R plus JXL format, that is equal to R01 plus J X01 format. Yes or no? So voltage drop will be I2 dash into R01 plus J X01. Okay, I2 dash into R01 plus J X01 and its load voltage V2 dash. I have written that here. Okay, so just open it. So I2 dash R01 plus J I2 dash X01 plus V2 dash. Okay, so this one is your induced EMF E1. Okay, is this no load the voltage drop across this R0 and X0. That means the no load current is very small. Okay, so as the no load current is very small, so the drop due to no load current by these elements are also very small. That's why this is neglected. So this E1 will be equal to V1. Okay, once again I am telling you, the no load current is your I0 and the voltage drop due to no load current is very small. That means the voltage drop across this path is supposed to be very small. That's why the voltage drop of this path is neglected. So if this is neglected, just assume that this is absent. This part is absent. So voltage between these 2 points will be equal to this point. That means input voltage, so E1 will be equal to V1. Okay, so that is equal to V1. Okay, so this is the voltage equation. V1 or that is equal to E1 is equal to I2 dash R01 plus J I2 dash X01 plus V2 dash, and current equation I1 is equal to I0 plus I2 dash. Okay, so by using these two equations, one is the current equation and voltage equation, we will plot the phasor diagram and just look how we can plot the phasor. So writing the current equation and voltage equation once again, I1 is equal to I0 plus I2 dash. This one is your current equation, and voltage equation, input voltage V1 is equal to I2 dash R01 plus J I2 dash X01 plus V2 dash. So this is the equation. These are voltage and current equation. Okay, these are the voltage drop I2 dash R01, voltage drop due to X01. This is voltage and this one is the current. Okay, so the phasor diagram can be plotted by taking this voltage V2 dash as a reference phasor. Okay, this V2 dash as a reference phasor. Okay, so its current, load voltage V2 dash. So the load current I2 dash lags the voltage V2 dash. This one is your I2 dash. This angle is your phi 2. Assuming here the impedance is your inductive. That means lagging load, inductive load. Okay, so V2 dash and I2 is plotted. Voltage this V2 dash, this load voltage is taken as a reference. The load current lags the voltage by an angle phi 2. Okay, we have taken this is as reference. If we add these two voltage drop with V2 dash, we will get V1. Okay, so what is this I2 dash R01? So this is the voltage drop due to resistance R01. So this behaves as a resistive circuit, voltage drop across a resistor. Similarly, this is the voltage drop due to inductor. Okay, so this I2 dash R01, this will be in phase with I2 dash, because in case of resistive circuit, voltage and current lie in same phase. So this I2 dash R01, this represent the resistive voltage drop. So that's why here voltage and current became same phase. So I2 dash this one. So I2 dash R01, this will be lie in this phase. Okay, but the thing is that we'll have to start this I2 dash R01 from this point, because these are the continuous addition, V2 dash with I2 dash R01 with J I2 X01. So this I2 dash R01, this will be started where the tip of V2. Okay, this will be started from the tip of V2 where V2 ends. So here V2 is the starting point, this is the ending point. So this I2 dash R01, this will be started from this point. So this will be drawn in parallel with I2. So this is I2 and this one is your I2 dash R01. and J I2 dash X01, this leads the current by an angle 90 degree. I2 dash X01. So the resultant of V2 I2 dash R01, I2 dash X01, this is equal to V1. So the closed side is the V1. This one is V1. Okay. So this is the phasor of V1 is plotted, but yet we have not plotted the phasor of I1 here. Okay, only I2 is plotted. This is I2. Okay, we will have to add I0 dash. Okay, so last class we have already studied that I0 has two components. I0 has two components. Last class we have studied this portion. I0 has two components. One is your Im, magnetizing current. Another is your iron loss component, IW. Okay, so we will first plot this value of IW and Im. Then on adding we will get I0. Okay, just see the diagram here. The IW will in phase with V1. IW is in phase with V1. Last class we have studied. IW in phase with V1, and Im, this one is your Im, magnetizing current Im lags the voltage V1 by an angle 90 degree. So we will follow the same rule here. Just remember or remind one thing, IW will be in phase with V1 and Im will lag V1 by an angle 90 degree. Okay. So IW will in phase with V1. So this one is your IW up to this one. Now Im lags V1. This one is the phasor of V1. This lags by an angle 90 degree. This angle is equal to 90 degree. So this one is equal to your Im. Okay. Now the resultant of IW and Im, resultant of Im and IW is your I0. This one is your I0. Okay, this one is your I0. Okay, now this is the phasor of I2 dash. This one is a phasor of I2 dash. From the initial we have plotted it, I2 dash. Now the sum of I0 and I2 dash is equal to your input current I1. So this can be obtained by parallelogram law of vector addition. Okay, so this is the side. This one is your I1, primary current I1. Okay, once again I am telling you the phasor diagram. This V2 dash is taken as a reference. This one is your I2 dash current. This current, this is the phasor I2 dash, lags the voltage by an angle phi 2. Okay, now I2 dash R01, this is parallel with I2 dash, and this will be started at the end of V2 dash. Okay, now this is the end of I2 dash R01. Now from this point I2 dash X01, so this leads the current by an angle 90 degree. This angle is a 90 degree. Okay, now the sum of V2 dash, I2 dash R01 and I2 dash X01, this is equal to V1. Okay, now this no load current I0 has two components. One is your Im, another is your IW. Okay, IW is in phase with voltage. So this one is a phasor of V1. So in phase means in the same line. And Im, this lags the V1 by an angle 90 degree. Okay, so the resultant of IW and Im, this one is your I0. Again, the resultant of I2 dash and I0. See, this is equation. Resultant of I0 and I2 dash. I0, this one is your I0, this one is your I2 dash. The resultant of I0 and I2 dash, this one is your I1. Okay. Okay, so hope you have understood this portion. So in this portion we have completed the simplified equivalent circuit of a loaded transformer, and in the next class we will study the approximate equivalent circuit and second voltage drop, calculation, and third thing is your voltage regulation. Okay, So hope you have understood this video. Thank you for watching this.